culture at the same time.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim. Ghayril maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Amen. The English translation of that is, in the name of Allah, most merciful and compassionate, all praises be to Allah, Lord of the worlds, most merciful and compassionate, Lord of the reckoning. You alone we worship, and you alone we seek help. Guide us on the straight way, the way of those you have blessed, not of those upon whom is wrath or those who are lost. And with that, I greet you to another edition of the History, Community, Life, and Diversity of Muslim Americans in New England. I am your host, Hassan Rashid, and I'll be here with you for approximately 25 more minutes. So it's always excellent being here with you, and it's awful great achievement to come into your lives like we do here at CCTV every day. So with that, I greet you with the ancient Arabic and Islamic greeting of peace, goodwill, and justice, freedom too, and that is ISLAMIC. Okay, the opening video was a presentation of the foods from around the world, and mostly the foods that's served during the Muslim holy month of Ramadan. And as you may know, or you may not know, it's 21 days from today. That's Ramadan, June 18th, 1434, 2015. 21 more days of before Ramadan, when the Islamic community, with the universal Islamic community, go into fasting, glorification of God. In Arabic, it's Allah, for 30 days, and feasting. Don't forget feasting. So that's what the video was about. The opening video was iftar. That is the feast after the fast is performed, and there's an iftar feed, and that was just a depiction of how what types of food that is consumed during iftar all over the world. We're going to try to get back to that video later on the broadcast, but once again, I greet you with the ancient Arabic greeting of peace, and that is Assalamu alaikum. Okay, I got a few things I want to share with you about the months that lead up to the month of Ramadan. There's two. There's Rajab and there's Shaban. And these are the three blessed months, okay? So I'm going to share a little bit information about the 3 months, Rajab, Shaban, and finally the holy month of Ramadan. The blessed 3 months are Rajab, Shaban, and Ramadan. The 7th, 8th, and 9th month in the Islamic Hijra calendar. These months are distinguished from the rest of the year with the peculiar taste, atmosphere that each possess. Each month comes along with the beauty and appeal to the external senses that is peculiar to itself. Wherever the blessed 3 months are experienced, the lofty feelings that emanate, filled with the consciousness of the everlasting heavenly gardens, and feel as if they have been welcomed, observing the hidden reality revealed by the brightest light that bursts forth from their beliefs and insight. Each and every day, every night, every hour, and every minute passes by with an unheard of magic, whispering blessing to everyone, each and according with their spiritual rank. Okay, so I can give you a little rundown on each month. Okay, so Rajab, which is the 7th month. The 7th month in the Islamic calendar, Rajab. Those of us preparing ourselves, those of us who are full alert with prayers, supplications, and glorification within the month of Rajab, attain a pure pleasure of wonderful spectacle. Shaban, which is the 8th month, or Sharula el Moazam, the great month, as it is frequently called, is felt with the pleasure suffused into the entire existence and our inner lives. And finally, the 3rd blessed month, that's Ramadan. Ramadan appears on the horizon with a unique warmth and charm. Our conscious becomes vigilant and awake. Okay, we have several weeks before Ramadan actually gets here. The new moon is sighted, so we're going to be getting into some more information to share with you on those 3 blessed months as the weeks, as we prepare for the weeks unfold, as we prepare for Ramadan. Okay, I can tell you this though, that Ramadan, greening Ramadan. So it's the Islamic Society of, that's the Islamic Society of North America. They're into greening Ramadan. So let me tell you a little bit about greening Ramadan. It's all about conserving food at iftars, which I just explained to you. The opening video was feast that after Ramadan. And so greening Ramadan is about conserving food at iftars. Avoid being wasteful by giving excess food to people in need. Use proper products for iftars and not styrofoam cups and plates. recycle all material, especially plastic, water bottles, replace all light bulbs with energy saver bulbs, and thus conserve electricity. Give a kupa on the Islamic imperative, okay? So that's some of the things that you can keep in mind for Ramadan and at iftar time, okay? We went into conserving food at iftars. Avoid being wasteful by giving excess food. Okay, use biodegradable products for iftars. Recycle material, especially plastic water bottles. Replace all light bulbs. We went into that. Okay, so that's greeting Ramadan. So you'll be hearing a little bit more about that in the weeks to come. Things too that you should keep in mind so that you and the community and those who you are with can experience a happy and prosperous and joyous Ramadan, okay? I got something I'm gonna do here that I haven't done, but I want to give you 3 people who are helpers in the community. There's 3 people in the region, Eastern Massachusetts, that are what is known as helpers. They're the helping profession, and they are sisters, three Muslim sisters. So I got that information. I'm gonna share that with you as soon as I discover it here. Okay, it's pretty. Okay, hold on. Three sisters help. You know, this lady, when I say that you should always assist someone, help someone in need. That's in need. There are 3 sisters that are doing just that. Okay, the first one is ISLAMIC. She's of Quincy, Massachusetts. ISLAMIC, 21, is an inspiring physician who presently serves as an EMT with Fallon Ambulance Services. She still remembers his first patient with a heart attack. Okay, I was still training, riding third on the ambulance. Shortly after we were displaced to call in a nursing home for a CPR in progress. The patient was eating dinner, steaks to be precise, which he couldn't cough up and continue blocking his airway, which led to his cardiac arrest. Paramedics were on the scene first, so when we pulled up, my trainer told me to hop in the back of the paramedic truck with them. They asked if I had ever done compression before. I told them I had only done so on mannequins, and they told me to get right to it. I did continuously compression to the hospital while one of the paramedics assisted in ventilations by bagging the patient, and the other paramedics administered cardiac medication intravenous. So once we reached the hospital, the patient heart began beating its own again. So bless her. That's ISLAMIC Quincy, and she is a helper. Okay, and there's a 7, Nadia Allah of Boston, Massachusetts, and this is her story. 2 years ago, Nadia, 42, founded New Day Syria, a disaster relief organization working to provide aid directly to Syrian women and children orphaned by the events opening in the country. The organization's whose logo is one person at a time, one humanity closer, grew out of her efforts to build bridges, save lives, and inspire hope. Okay, at the start of the conflict, Nadia, mother of 8 house school kids, coordinated several campaigns such as One Coat at a Time, bringing winter coats to 1,000 needy Syrian children suffering in winter temperatures. She soon found herself involved with medical relief efforts, and as her network expanded and the requests for aid grew, Nadia found New Day Syria to address the needs she saw and met. She described the group's efforts in the following manner. We began doing huge 40-foot containers filled with medical and humanitarian relief items, and were exuberant. Each time one reached its destination, it was humbled knowing that thousands of people could get some dignity by getting clothes, able to sleep in soft blankets sent from New England, or their children could get some temporary relief by playing around with a soccer ball or hugging a teddy bear, in addition to the actual medical supplies we sent off. Okay, and the third one is Dr. Huda Eltomi, Boston, Mass. Huda, 31, is a physician whose medical practice is affiliated with Harvard, the faculty of which she will soon be joining. She shares the following life-saving experience. On a cold winter night when I was a resident, a young, beautiful, pregnant lady was rushed into our triage area by EMS. Within minutes, she started to appear very sick. It became evident quickly that she is losing her baby and needed surgery, blood and blood products urgently. She had developed DIC, a condition that requires blood products in order to prevent massive bleeding and death. And I will never forget the urgent feeling of literally hundreds of thoughts rushing through my head simultaneously, and the tens of phone calls I made in the hour that followed in order to get the blood to our community hospital. Okay, I ran up from the hospital and finally got the products from a distant blood bank in about an hour. Meanwhile, she got sicker and sicker. I quickly hung them on the pole and started squeezing them so they would get into her body fast. I was silently praying to God for her recovery as blood was oozing from every pore of her body. I kept remembering the verse from the Quran that says, "And whoever saves one's life, it is as if he had saved mankind entirely." Then the surgery was over. Her death felt so close, but she survived. In an immense and unique moment of mixed emotion, anxiety, relief, sorrow, it seemed like every member of our team, despite our different background, recognized a humbling yet overwhelming appreciation of human life. So that's those were three stories of regional Eastern Mass Muslim American Muslim women, Muslims, who are in the profession of helping people. So eventually we're going to try to locate some more of those helpers of humanity and share their stories with you. So God bless them, and it's always good to know that we have that type of individual out in community, very active with staring humanity straight, okay, or helping humanity to move on successfully, okay. Right now, I like to move on to another little thing I got prepared for you. I want to tell. This is another story about Islamic life as helpers related to those who are in the helping profession. Okay, that's it. Let's see what we got here.
Zara, let me start with you. What do you make of the fact that we've now seen the right, by and large, sort of distance itself, reject Geller in the wake of this event?
You know, it's unfortunate that it's these tragic circumstances that are forcing the narrative to shift, but it's also a relief that even people on the same political spectrum as Pamela Geller recognize how damaging she is, and that what she's really doing is championing hate and bigotry.
Stephanie, this letter is targeting religious leaders and their families. It's even threatening to burn mosques like this one to the ground. The Islamic community says this is domestic terrorism, and it is misguided.
They have more in common with the violent extreme Muslims than the vast majority of Muslims do.
The Council on American Islamic Relations calling it domestic terrorism and calling on the feds to protect their religious freedom and safety.
Leaders at this Edmond mosque say there's been an increase in worshipers since the place was built in 1992. And last week, they got the go-ahead to keep up with that growth and expand their mosque near the UCO campus.
We have our student population that comes from the university, but we have a lot of families that have moved into Edmond and need a larger place to worship.
But Adam Sultani says they didn't claim this victory without some hard-fought and hurtful battles.
Proven affiliates of the Muslim Brotherhood.
In previous Edmond City Council meetings, they were met with opposition from some Metro church leaders. And just last month, their front door was vandalized with bacon. Pork is offensive to Muslims.
It was really sad and unfortunate to see some people approach the expansion and the proposed expansion with hatred and fear.
Tensions are high around the Islamic Society of Baltimore after the mosque received 2 threats in just 1 week.
These threats have been very disturbing. They've threatened bodily harm.
The first came April 28th. Someone called the mosque's school facility and asked, "What time do you close?" When they were told the closing time, the caller reportedly said, "It's the perfect time to bomb the bus." A second call came yesterday from someone threatening to spill Muslim blood. Zainab Chaudhry with the Council on American Islamic Relations says parents with children in the school are worried.
The community here is a little on edge. We want to make sure that federal authorities and state and local law enforcement are taking these threats seriously and really helping us get to the bottom of who's behind them.
Planning Commissioner Art Barrios says he meant no harm when he posted on Facebook, "Sounds good, maybe the rest of the world can do the same."
I made a mistake. I wrote something that I didn't mean to write.
Barrios' words appear above a blog he shared titled, "China Makes Major Moves to Ban Islam."
I read it, but I misinterpreted it as I was thinking of Islamic terrorists, not people of the Islam religion.
CARE, the Council on American Islamic Relations, says Barrios must apologize and resign the Planning Commission for endorsing a blogger who praised China's ban on Muslims and compared Islam to a rabid dog.
Fairness with equity, and now knowing that Mr. Barrios holds this bias towards a minority group, we feel that he's unfit for this job.
Students at Texas Tech are uniting as police continue their investigation into who spray painted the words "No Muslim" on a large reproduction of the school seal outside of the Texas Tech Health Sciences Center. This afternoon, red roses were handed out to symbolize the love that the community is choosing to retaliate back with. Authorities are still searching for the person responsible for the vandalism. Muslim students say they are encouraged by how responsive the university has been. The Council on American Islamic Relations is now calling this a hate crime and is asking for stepped-up protection for Muslim students and staff on campus.
At the end of the day, we have a national problem. It's not just something that's related to ICE or Detroit. It's an issue in which black bodies, black souls have been dehumanized to the point that it seems very easy for law enforcement agents to just kill black men.
Okay, I made a mistake on that one. I said that was related to those who are involved, engaged in the helping profession. Well, that was just a rundown of the latest the national Islamic and the world Islamic news by the Council of American Islamic Relations. And pretty soon they're going to be having their conference in Chicago, Labor Day. So that's quite a ways off, and you should be hearing more talk here about that. And also, the Mosque Cares, Ministry Imam W.D. Muhammad, they're going to be having their annual Muslim conference in Chicago about that time. So you'll be hearing more about that in the weeks to come. But right now, before we leave you, I'd like to tell you about the Council, the Center for Arab Culture, okay, in Somerville. They're calling or looking for interns. The Center Arab Culture is calling for development and programming interns for 2015 fall semester. Submit your resume to ariceheh@cacboston.org. That's a call for Center Arab Culture interns. That's the CAC, acronym CAC, CAC. It's calling for development and programming interns for 2015 fall semester. So submit your resumes if you're interested in becoming an intern at the Center for Arab Culture in Somerville. That's 191 Highland Avenue, 6B, Somerville. So if you like more information on the Center for Arab Culture, you can go to their website, and it's www.cacboston.org. Okay, I'd like to tell you one more thing and remind you before I get out of here that there's only 21 more days left before the Muslim or the blessed 9th month of the Islamic calendar, and it is the holy month of Ramadan. I am Hassan Rashid, and you know it's always excellent being here with you, and I just can't wait until the next time to come into your lives like we do here at CCTV every day. So with that, I'd like to remind you that superior wisdom can never be subjected by inferior wisdom. So until next time, I leave you with the ancient Arabic greeting of peace, and that is ISLAMIC.
Muslim communities in all 50 states. I want to extend best wishes to Muslims in America and around the world. Ramadan Kareem. Ramadan is the month in which Muslims believe the Quran was revealed to the Prophet Muhammad, beginning with a simple word, Iqra. It is therefore a time when Muslims reflect upon the wisdom and guidance that comes with faith, and the responsibility that human beings have to one another and to God. Like many people of different faiths who've seen Ramadan through our communities and families, I know this to be a festive time, a time when families gather and meals are shared. But I also know that Ramadan is a time of intense devotion and reflection, a time when Muslims fast during the day and perform Taraweeh prayers at night, reciting and listening to the entire Quran over the course of the month. These rituals remind us of the principles that we hold in common, and Islam's role in advancing justice, progress, tolerance, and the dignity of all human beings. For instance, fasting is a concept shared by many faiths, including my own Christian faith, as a way to bring people closer to God, and to those among us who cannot take their next meal for granted. And the support that Muslims provide to others recalls our responsibility to advance opportunity and prosperity for people everywhere. For all of us must remember that the world we want to build and the changes that we want to make must begin in our own hearts and our own communities. This summer, people across America have served in their communities, educating children, caring for the sick, and extending a hand to those who have fallen on hard times. Faith-based organizations, including many Islamic organizations, have been at the forefront in participating in this summer of service. And in these challenging times, this is a spirit of responsibility that we must sustain in the months and years to come. Beyond America's borders, we're also committed to keeping our responsibility to build a world that is more peaceful and secure. That's why we're responsibly ending the war in Iraq. That's why we are